From your experience, what are the pros and cons of buying a new car versus a used car when you are new to Canada?
When you come from a different country, some of the countries do have different setup for driving on the other side. When you buy a used car, at least you get the time to practice.
Is it a good idea to buy an electric vehicle EV as a newcomer to Canada, or should I stick with a traditional gas powered car?
Buying a brand new car from 0 km is everybody's dream.
So, how can I check the history of a used car in Canada?
First thing, if somebody is selling the car certified, so that gives you a 30-day period to return or find out any major problems in the car.
What are the best tips for saving money on car insurance?
Companies want to see if you're 25 and above.
What are the essential car maintenance tasks I can do myself to save money and keep my car running smoothly?
Main thing I would suggest would be not to drive on all season on all weather tires. Do buy winter tires. It will save your life.
All right. Good evening and welcome to another brand new edition. All right. Joining us today is none other than engineer Harpreet Singh, a dynamic professional from New Delhi, India, whose journey embodies resilience, patience, and excellence. From representing his country as a national level judo athlete to earning a degree in mechanical engineering, Harpreet's path led him to Canada in 2018 to pursue his dream in the automotive industry. Starting as a mechanic, he rose to key roles at top organizations like Bhatia's Mississauga Hyundai, Rafi Auto Group, and now manages Victory Lube's Long Lake location. A true car enthusiast and innovator, Harpreet's story inspires us to chase our dreams and overcome challenges with determinations and precision. To dive into his incredible journey, you have to stay tuned and stick around. And also, if you are planning to buy a new car in Canada, new car or used car, dealership or private seller, leasing or financing, but you are in the state of complete doubt, this is going to be the right show for you, and the gentleman I have as my guest will be addressing all your concerns and also all about automotive world. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Many newcomers and immigrants, international students, I'm sure they are very much excited to hear or listen to you today. Are you excited?
Well, a little bit excited and nervous both.
All right. Okay, so RBG, what motivated you to leave India and move to Canada in 2018? And can you share some of the challenges you faced as an immigrant newcomer in pursuing your dream career in the automotive world?
Well, to be honest with you, I feel like my interest was always in the vehicles. I was fond of the roar of the engines. That's probably why I switched my career from being a mechanical engineer and designing refineries with my dad, now fixing cars, returning wrenches. During 2018, just before 2018, I was planning to either go to Germany for automotive, because you all know every car is being manufactured through Germany, and they are the top-notch people making cars. But then I also find out Canada is another growing place for automotive. So that's why I chose Canada to come here and pursue my automotive engineering or my diploma.
All right. What challenges you face, if you have to remember any?
Well, the
as a
first
newcomer?
challenge I would say was the transition, making new friends, making new support, homesickness. I feel like every international student who first come to Canada, the first challenge they ever see would be missing home, because nobody's cooking here, nobody's washing your clothes. You have to be responsible for each and everything you do throughout the day. Um, managing time was a little challenging to me, because managing time between school, part-time job, and coming back home and trying to spare time for ourselves was a little difficult.
So how did you manage, how did you overcome those challenges and hurdles in your initial years?
I feel like just because I was so much in sports, I every time I feel like something is going out of hand, I would either try to just go for a jog or try to work out. So your focused mind is diverted towards something else is what made me overcome this hurdles.
Nice. Harpreet, you have had an impressive journey from being a national level judo athlete to earning a degree in mechanical engineer and building a career in the automotive industry. How did your experience in sports shape your work ethic and mindset in your professional life right now?
Well, I would say sports definitely gave me the confidence of managing the pressure and goal oriented mindset, because every time you go in a sport field you always want to go for a gold. You never think about I'm going to lose today. So I put the same concept during when I started my part-time job as a technician, and till now it's helping me out to conquer my stress.
Would you like to remember anything about when you were representing your country, India, as a national level judo athlete? If you have any kind of memories back then?
Well, there were a couple occasions when I thought I should not be in sports, because I had a severe injuries, especially on my nose,
Right, right.
and I had to drop sports because doctor said if you broke the nose third time, then there is no
Mm.
coming back. There will be a lifetime problem. I don't know whether you guys are familiar with the sinus.
Yeah,
Sinus is
right, right,
also
right.
ingrown bone in your nose. So I
Mm.
did break my nose twice, and that was it. I gave up playing sports and diverted me towards studies after.
Okay, all right. Okay, starting as a mechanic, and advancing to a service advisor and manager roles at a top dealership like Bhatia's Mississauga Hyundai and Rafi Auto Group is impressive. What were the most important lessons you learned along the way?
I feel like working for those big dealership was I'm very grateful to work for them, because they have given me a lifelong lessons of building your clients efficiently, managing time, multitasking. Um, I would say going above and beyond to provide the best customer service you can ever provide, and building your clientele. That's the main thing. You can be an advisor in any other dealership. There are other advisors too. You want to build the clientele who only want to come and see you as their advisor. So I would say this is the key thing I took away from those dealership is to make healthy relationship with anybody walking through your door.
So, why did you leave those top dealership? It is known as the top dealership here in Canada. Why did you leave? What's the reason behind that?
I would say it was not because of the dealership. If that dealership was in Sudbury, I would have stayed in the same dealership. It's just Sudbury's in my heart.
Oh.
I came here, I studied here, and then there were certain other reasons I wanted to try a big city. But then I realized sooner than later that bigger cities are not for me. Um, the best kind of life you would live if you live in countryside. City life is not the life for everybody.
Why is that?
Too much traffic, too much people. I would say I was spending hour and a half going to work, hour and a half coming back from work. That's 3 hours wasted out of my life. Instead, if I live in Sudbury, everywhere is 15-20 minutes. I have time for myself, time for my family. I can go out and about, do stuff with my friends. But in Toronto, the only time you can go out would be on the day offs, and that too doing groceries and catching up on other errands.
Oh, wow. Okay, so now let's come to one of the most concerned topic right now for everybody as a newcomer, as an immigrant, or let's say as an international student. Buying a car is one of the biggest decisions for many newcomers, face after like arriving in Canada. It's not just about getting from point A to point B. It's about balancing your budget and understanding the local market, making the right choice for your needs. For someone new to the country, the decision between buying a brand new car or option for a used one can be daunting, with both options having their advantages and drawbacks. So, from your experience, what are the pros and cons of buying a new car versus a used car when you are new to Canada?
I would say the pros of buying a used car as a student is first, um, when you come from a different country, some of the countries do have different setup for driving on the other side. When you buy a used car, at least you get the time to practice and understand the rules and the safety of a foreign country. And then I would say it all comes down to how far of a work commute it is. If I was an international student, when I wanted to purchase a car, I calculated that 4 hours of my day is spent in bus journey. So I wanted to cut that down so I can utilize that time to either work or maybe have a leisure time for myself. Is why what I made the decision to buy a new car. If I'm an international student and if I want to buy a car, I would not pursue buy a brand new car because that's gonna add another $1,000 to your expenditure. And for that external $1,000, you would have to find maybe a second or a third job. Then you don't have no life. Rather, I would go with the used car, maybe bring it to a shop, get it inspected, and then jump into the newer car when you feel like you are financially independent, or your 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 roots are strong enough that you can afford without pinching your pocket.
Okay. Anything else? Those who are still in confusion, like buying a new car or used car, which one is better for them? What do you want to say?
Well, buying a brand new car from 0 kilometer is everybody's dream, right? At least from day one, the car has been maintained by you, and it narrows down to how much of a car enthusiastic person you are. I mean, let's say you just bought a new car. How do you enjoy your journey buying a new car? Do you like it?
Of course,
Right,
no
so
doubt.
everybody
Yeah.
wants to get a new car, but it also depends upon the circumstances you are in. Not everybody can afford a brand new car right away. Wait for at least 6 months to a year and then decide whether you're ready or not.
Okay. Now here comes another one. It's not just about new car or a used car. Now let's talk about electric vehicles, EV or traditional gas powered car. Is it a good idea to buy an electric vehicle EV as a newcomer to Canada, or should I stick with a traditional gas powered car?
Depends upon what do you want to do with the car. A lot of people do come to Canada and buy a car to deliver food, work for Uber, skip the dishes, or you ride. Then I would suggest you not to go into full EV yet because the infrastructure is not there. Maybe go with the partial electric or just stick to the gas for now. But if you go to hybrid cars, which is partial electric, I mean, you would save at least 40% in gas because if you're just driving in town, it will be completely electric, which is a good option. But personal opinion, stay away from complete EVs for now, until and unless every corner there's a charge station, or you are prepared to go and spend 8 hours in the parking lot charging your car.
So what's the situations for now for the charging points and in electric vehicles here in Canada, or especially here in Sudbury?
So this is a good one because I have spoken to someone who owned a fully electric truck, Ford truck. Within a month of buying that truck, they sold the truck just because from here to Toronto, he's a business owner. So he goes to Toronto very frequently. But he said every time he make a trip to Toronto, he has to stop in Parry Sound to charge the car, and then he has to stop in Innisfil to charge the car. I mean, it's only a 3 or 3.5, 4 hours drive, and if you have to stop, waste half an hour, 1 hour to charge your vehicle, there is no point. There is no point to go full electric yet.
Okay. All right. Now let's head towards another point. And how can I check the, like, when it comes to buying a used car or second-hand car? It's like you must know the history of that car. You know. So how can I check the history of a used car in Canada to ensure it's a good investment or it's a good deal?
Well, there is certain things you can check before buying a car. First thing, if somebody is selling the car certified, so that gives you a 30-day period to return or find out any major problems in the car. If there is any major problem in the car, the technician, or sorry, the mechanic shop or the owner, they have to either fix it or buy it back from you. Either, if you are not certain with the certification or not satisfied with the certification, you can go online and check the Carfax. The
What is
only
Carfax?
Carfax is generally the report on the vehicle you are buying it. It shows you the whole service record of the vehicle, and if there any prior damage reported on the car, or it was considered ever stolen, or maybe an ex rental. I personally would stay away from ex rentals, and if the Carfax shows that there is a damage on the vehicle over $3,000, that means there was a serious accident to the car. And if it's a rental car, it was an ex rental car, then people do not drive ex rental like their own. They abuse the cars, so I would stay away from those cars.
All right, we already talk about used car, brand new car. Now let's talk about as a newcomer, what should I prioritize when buying a car? Is it a budget? Is it a fuel efficiency? Is it a insurance, reliability? What key factors should I consider when buying a first car in Canada?
Well, if you are making an asset for life, the one thing you should think about would be a reliable car. Because every day making that day-to-day commute, you don't want to stuck on the side of the road and wait for a tow truck to come in and pick you up and drop you back home, right?
Right.
So I would make a list of top five manufacturers, stay away from certain brands, and then out of those five list of cars like Toyota, Honda, I would call my insurance, get the quote, because each and every company you can call them, find out what the insurance is for that particular car, and then go buy the car. So at least you would have an idea of that, okay, I'm gonna be paying at least $200, let's say a rough number for the insurance on this vehicle, plus my monthly payment, and it's still under my budget. Budget planning is the main key thing buying a car. It has to be usually people say 25% of what you make should go towards your um, the vehicle finance prices.
Mhm.
So if you feel like if you are stepping into market to buy a brand new car, just don't go buy $100,000 truck or $100,000 car. Okay, it's not gonna be a good asset to you. It will be a liability for you, because now you have to work hard towards making those car payments, and if you miss a car payment, your credit score go down. So
Very true.
everything is entitled to your credit score here.
Very true. So, if you don't have credit history, all right, can you still buy or afford a new car, a brand new car, or let's say used car, whatever? What's the situation?
Not so much of the brand new car you can buy if you don't have no credit history, because the dealership are very strict with this. But if you go to a used car dealership, they do have certain ways that you can buy or lease a car, sorry, finance a car. But they require co-signers.
All right, okay. Now let's talk about leasing versus financing. What's the difference between leasing and financing a car in Canada? And how do I choose the best option for my financial situation?
Until unless you're not a business owner, I would stay away from the lease, because leasing vehicle, um, it it feels nice because every 2 or 3 years you get a new car to drive. Because leasing, you return the car, get a new one every couple of years. Financing, you are putting money towards an asset which you're gonna keep it for life, right? So financing, although the payments would be expensive than the payments in leasing, but the end of the day, when you want to go buy back the car from lease, it's going to be more expensive than financing. So I would stick with just financing until and unless you are jumping into opening your business, then you can think about leasing a vehicle.
Okay. All right. Okay, now let's talk about car insurance.
Hmm.
What are the best tips for saving money on car insurance as a newcomer international student here in Canada?
Insurance, I would say it depends upon a lot depends upon how older the license is, because insurance companies want to see if you're 25 and above. Insurance prices vary from city to city as well, because some of
Okay.
the city down south which are more accident prone areas, the insurance is very high. But if you compare in Sudbury's insurance are cheaper. The other way to save your insurance would be there are certain insurance companies who track the way you drive. They do send you a link to download their apps, and then they monitor how fast you go, if you drive in speed limits or not, and based upon that, you can get anywhere between 10 to 25% discount per year. That's another saving. Or it also depends upon how many kilometers you're going to put in a year on a car. Let's say if you only have to drive 5 to 7 kilometers, you can always ask the insurance company to put you on bare minimum, which is 7,000 kilometers in a year. This will bring your yearly insurance premium a little bit down.
In Canada, winter is very harsh, and when it comes to winter, what should I do to prepare my car for winter driving in Canada?
Well, the first thing first is you should be inspecting your vehicle just before the winter season. Bring it to a garage, let them inspect your brakes, check the tire tread depths, and check your battery. See everything is in healthy condition. Main thing I would suggest would be not to drive on all season on all weather tire. Do buy winter tires. It definitely work. It will save your life. I would say it will save your life. You would not spend or slip. Because I have seen people getting stuck because they were not prepared. They were still having their summer tires on. Summer tire does not perform the job what winter tires can. I would say maybe get your oil change done before the hitting the winters. Proper maintenance will be a key feature helping you out overcoming this winter challenges.
I have heard about all weather tires, I have heard about all season tires. What's the difference between, like, even if we don't have winter tires and if we put the same all season tires, what's the difference? Or all winter tires, like all weather tires?
All weather and all season tires, the only difference between those is they are graded to be driven in winter conditions. I would say mostly the winter temperatures, not the amount of snow on the road. So if you compare Toronto to Sudbury, all weather tires are very good in Toronto because they don't receive the amount of snow we get. If they get 3 centimeter, we get 30 centimeter. So those tires, although doesn't matter how good of a driver you are, they're not gonna work. You'll still get stuck here in Sudbury. Maybe when you were in Toronto, good. We can still run the all season or all weather tire.
Okay, all right. So when buying a car from a dealership, what are some of the tips for negotiating the price of a car at a dealership in Canada, and how do I ensure I'm getting a good deal?
Well, I would do some research before even going to the dealers. Never even tell them what your budget is for a monthly payment, because then they will try to make some numbers close to that monthly payment. Let's say, for example, you went into a dealership and you said my budget for a month is $400. So now they have a number that how much you can pay for a month. They will sell you a car for a $450 a month, and you will say yes because you're just excited. Avoid that, saying what number you have in your mind. I would go into a dealership and look around, see the cars first, and then when it comes to negotiation, I would go proofread everything, see if there is any hidden charges which I may not be aware of, and dealership is just putting it towards the grand total of the vehicle. If you find any hidden charge, try to negotiate for that. Or when you are in the dealership, try to negotiate to get few services for free, or maybe winter mats for free, winter tires or rims for free. Because at the end of the day, they know that you are in the market to close the deal. So they would probably go above and beyond to negotiate a little bit because they always have a room to negotiate. So my personal opinion would be try to negotiate to get free services. Maybe get 4 services. That's 2 years worth of free services, even if you get 4. So every 6 months you service your car once. That's almost $500 in savings.
True, very nice. Okay, now we just talk about dealership. Now let's talk about buying a car from a private seller, from a marketplace. Is it safer to buy a car from a private seller rather than a dealership? And what precautions should I take as a new buyer?
When you are in the marketplace looking for a vehicle, always look for the rust. Especially just because Canada has so much salt and water on the roads, most of the car does not like rust. The salt on the vehicles, and it does end up in corrosion. Maybe bring it to your local garage, have them to inspect it for you if you are not sure how to buy it off of the marketplace, or maybe push the seller to sell you the car certified, because if he sells you certified, then you don't have to worry about everything, because they did perform all the safety measure before delivering it to you.
Okay. So what do you want to say? Is it safe to buy a car from a private seller?
It's a hit and miss. It's a hit and miss. I've personally encountered buying a gem, and then I've also bought cars which only belongs to scrapyard. If you do have a little bit knowledge about automotive, it's sometimes you can definitely score good deals. If not, then there are local garages who are ready to help and inspect the vehicles for you. You only pay like $50 to $100 fee, and at least it will give you a peace of mind, because peace of mind goes long ways. I I can help people. As you know, I do manage a long
Yeah,
litigation. If
true.
anybody do want any help buying a car, or a suggestion, or if he's confused finding the right one for him, I can help him out too.
Wow. How can I like keep my car in a good condition on a budget in a Canada, like as a newcomer on a tight budget? What are the essential car maintenance tasks I can do myself to save money and keep my car running smoothly?
Well, I would say everybody should at least know top five things to do it yourself. It should be battery, replacing your spare tire, changing your engine and cabin air filter, replacing your wiper blade and light bulb. If you know this simple maintenance, then you don't have to see garages frequently, because that can be done at fraction of the money you go and pay at the garages. So let's say changing your wiper blades. You go to Costco, you can pick up a wiper blade for $10, put it yourself, and then you save all the money. You go to a shop, they will charge you $40 $50 a piece, and then if you go get the air filter, cabin filter, very very small items, if you DIY at home, this will save you money long term. But replacing a spare tire should be an essential key thing that everybody should learn or should know, or maybe just YouTube see how it's done. Because let's say if you're stuck on side of the road and there is no help within next 3 hours, and you can put your spare tire and get going instead of waiting. I would suggest people to maybe even know how to check their oil level, check their tire pressures frequently, and also if they want to maintain their car in Canada, maybe get it rust proof every year. If they're willing to keep the car forever, maybe get it rust proofed every year, because salt and snow, they are the worst enemies for the vehicles currently.
Okay, so even if you buy brand new car from a dealership, all right, but then also I have noticed, even in my case, I have noticed people, prefer going to quick lube places like service centers, rather than going to the dealership. What's the reason behind this? What do you want to say about this?
I would say nowadays time is money, and lots and lots of small food places like Tim Hortons and every drive-through you go to, they have made their expectations so high that they want everything to be done in a timely manner and quickly. When you go to a dealership to, let's say, even just to get an oil change or a warranty work done, you minimum spend 3 to 4 hours. Not everybody have 3 to 4 hours in their life to go and get an oil change on their car. So lots of people, lots of traffic do go to quick lube shops, because it's just like a pit stop. You go in, get your service done, no questions asked. In 10 minutes, you're out on your way, and prices are fraction the prices of what you pay at the dealership. Let's say I'll give you a rough example.
Please.
I'm not going to say the manufacturer of the dealership, because it's based off of Sudbury, but I have had a quotation from a customer brought it to me for a few services, which is just a general maintenance, was about $2,200.
Oh my
And
God.
I'll just give you an example of how much it would cost to do it at Victory Lube. It was only $400. So a lot of people are not sure or not aware of where they can save money, and I feel like the quick lube places and small garages are there to meet and exceed their expectations. They beat the price of the dealership by at least a 70% margin. That's why a lot of people do prefer going to the small dealership instead of going back to their manufacturers.
There is a myth or rumor, I don't know, reality. It's a reality or a myth. If you go to the dealership, then after, like, if you want to resell your, vehicle, then you will get a good amount of money. Whenever you are ready to sell your car, you want to change your car.
So
But if you go to the lube, quick lube places, you won't get the same amount you were expecting. I heard something like that. Is it true, or?
So that's not in the quick lube places. That's between the small car dealers and the big dealerships.
Okay.
So the big dealership might pay you top dollars for your vehicle, but you will end up paying the same amount in the new purchase. So they will, let's say you brought in your car to trade it in, they will give you at least couple grand more than what you are getting outside. But also those $2,000 or $3,000 would be added to the new purchase, which you would just sign blindly. So small dealership, although they give you less money for the cars because they have to make certain margins to survive in the market, but private deals can get you earn more money flipping your cars.
Customer service plays a big part in your current role. So, as the manager at Victory Lube, what do you believe is the most important aspect of customer service in the automotive industry?
I don't see everybody who comes to my door as a ripoff. I try to go above and beyond to help them, and I want every customer who leaves my door with a smile. So even if I have to go out of my work radius to try to help them for free, I go and do that because I see in the bigger picture. You don't have to make a customer for just one day. You have to make a customer for life. That's my key rule. So everybody who comes to me, I leave a kind of impression or provide a kind of customer service that they keep coming back to us and they don't go anywhere else. I'm all about customer service because I have already served customers. So to be honest with you, if you ask me, I would only answer you answers regarding what good I do providing the customer service. I mean, we are very transparent with the customers. We do not try to upcharge them. There is no milking of like a lot of people do say that if elderly person or a very young kid walks through the door, they try to rip them off. This is not the case with Victory Lube. Victory Lube is a locally owned business. It's been operating from last 30 years, and they have built their brand as being a very strong local business. They go above and beyond, try to help the community. Their prices, if you compare the prices to all the other corporate stores around in the Sudbury, we're always $20 to $30 cheaper for every single thing.
Now, coming to your journey from an athlete to an engineer and now a manager is inspiring. What advice would you give to young professionals or immigrants aspiring to build a successful career in Canada's in automotive industry?
Say just be like water, adopt everything and anything coming your way. A focused mind is sharp like a razor, and if you devote and dedicate your time just to learn one thing, I think automotive is a kind of field that also has different branches. It's just not about turning wrenches. You can go do service advising, you can go do selling, you can go work in mines, and then if you are licensed, it's a trade. So it's a licensed trade. It's an essential job. You are never running out of work. And once you get your license, if you're working as a flat rate in a good dealership, then making money, sky is your limit. I have prime examples of people seeing making at least $300,000 a year turning wrenches. A lot of people feel like mechanics probably won't earn much. It's a dirty job, but dirty hands also means clean money too.
Right. I was about to, add these questions. What are the most common misconceptions people have about the automotive industry, and how do you think they can be addressed?
There is a bad fruit in every industry, and there's been certain example been put out on YouTube too about some dirty mechanic games they do. Try to create a problem to make more money, and that has created a phobia in people's mind that everywhere they go, they first hesitate to trust you unless you prove them wrong, right? You have to be transparent and perform all the proper services and taking care of the customer in a good, I would say not friendly manner, but you have to be loyal to the customers. It's not a small game. It's if you are in customer service or fixing somebody's vehicle, they should trust you with all their needs because they come to you thinking that you are the professionals. And if you cheat them, then that's where the confusion is started.
Okay, interesting. All right, almost at the end. Now, since you are in this automotive industry, what are your long-term goals in the automotive industry, and how do you see yourself making a larger impact in this field here in Canada?
I'm working for Victory Lube. I'm managing their location, but I've also worked in their operations, which also gave me an opportunity to learn more hidden stuff of running a business. It's a joke. It's a joke between my friend that one day I want to open my own shop, and my shop should be named as Brown by Automotive. It's just a joke, but name would be different. But eventually, I want to open my own shop, and then one day, if I be a successful business owner, I want to open an NGO to help elderly people, because elderly people are the people who definitely need help. So if any elderly people comes to my door and cannot afford no repairs, I would go ahead and do it for free.
Nice.
That's my end term goals.
You have any memorable event with elderly people who came to your shop, or like, let's say, in your store, and you helped them, like charging any penny, like no charge at all?
I hope my owner is not listening, but there's been many occasions when I do that, 'cause
Okay.
especially people who are traveling and they don't have any mode of going anywhere. Sudbury, everything is closed on Saturdays and Sundays. Just because my shop is open and I have a little bit background knowledge about automotive, I helped few people who were in a desperate need because they had to make the commute from Sudbury to Toronto and had no clue how to get it done. And I went above and beyond, tried helping them for free, no charge.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. It was an amazing, conversation with you.
Thank you, Arjun.
So much for sharing all the tips and tricks about buying a car. I'm sure this show is very much beneficial for all the newcomers, international students, and immigrants who are listening to us right now.
100%, man.
What do you want to say? Any message to the people who are listening to us, wants to buy a car or wants to come to the automotive world? What do you want to say?
Well, I would say do your market research before you go. Plan your doubts. Clear your doubts with your salesperson before agreeing to anything. Proofread your documents before signing on anything, because you may just sign on 30% interest rate, which you are not able to afford in going forward in the future. And just stay focused.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.